So now I am starting the JavaScript basic lecture, and today is the last lecture of JavaScript basic series, and we will cover in there some events, how events work in JavaScript. Okay, so we have started this event in previous lecture, so today we will finish this and we will cover all the features of JavaScript basics. So let's see. So So we have two events here for the for our windows. Like one is the DOM, one is the load event. Okay, and another is the DOM content DOM content loaded. Okay, these are the two events we will discuss now. So what is the difference between these two events? So load event is generally used when the all the DOM element is loaded, all the like images, css, javascript, everything in the page will be loaded, then this will be occurred. And the DOM content loaded when the DOM tree will be created, means there is a image will take some time to load, and there may be some javascript and css file, it will take it will take some times because we are using from the other resources. We are using like jQuery. Okay, we don't have this file in our repository. We are using the from the jQuery website, so it will take some times. So before that, before loading this type of content, the DOM content will be loaded. Okay, let's see how this works. Okay, I'm just going here, and as we have discussed, window, as we have discussed, add event listener. Okay, in the previous lecture, so I will use this event in here, and there is a anonymous function I'm using. I'm just using console.log. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this and I will paste this load. Okay, so like this, when the window will be refreshed, like I'm here, I'm just going to refresh. Then in console, you can see that DOM content loaded. It's first we are getting the DOM content loaded, then we are getting the load. If I'm just going to cut from here and I'm just going to paste here and I'm just going to refresh now. Now you can see that first, now load is executing first. Okay, load is executing in this file is first load event, but console we are getting the console of DOM content loaded. Okay, why? Because when the content, when the DOM tree is created of this hello world and in this ULLI, then this will be executed, but the load event will be executed after the all trees passed, all DOM trees created, parts, and all the content is loaded. So it will be executed after the loading of the DOM elements. Okay, so what is the difference? This was the difference, and where can use this? Okay, like we want to show this is our website, like this is our website, and we want to show some welcome message here. Okay, but this welcome pop-up, we want to show some welcome pop-up here when user come first time here. Okay, but this welcome pop-up is use some CSS or bootstrap. Okay, and we have bootstrap css and js we are using from the bootstrap site. Okay, we don't have in our folder. Okay, so it will take some time, it will take some time. So when the bootstrap css and js will be loaded, then we will open that pop-up, we will open that pop-up in load event here. Okay, in this. Okay, after loading all the, if we will use this pop-up, if we will use this pop-up here, we will get an error because the javascript and the css is not loaded till now. Okay, so We will use this pop-up in the load event. We will not use in the DOM content loaded. Okay, so when we will use the DOM content loaded? So DOM content loaded we will use like we have a same pop-up, but we are using our own css. We are not using any other library like bootstrap and material css. We don't using these. Okay, we have just written our own css in that pop-up, and we have. So at that time when user will be come on the website, then we will have this pop-up here in the DOM content loaded, because this is not depending on any CSS and JavaScript. So there is no worry to wait for the to wait for loading this CSS and JavaScript. So we can have. And so what will be the difference? Like there will be a performance difference. Like as user will be on our website, then this is the fast way to show any alert and any pop-up. Okay, in the DOM content loaded. So this was the difference in the load and DOM content loaded. Okay. So event listener, if you don't know the event listener, what is the event listener I'm using? You just see my previous lecture, and I have also shared the link, and I will share this link, and you can check the playlist as well. Okay. So now we will see some more events here. Okay. So we have checked on click event in, like we have checked here on click, like we have an event like on click. Okay, this. So we will write here like on click, and we will write here at the function here on an any element. So there is a element is h1. Okay, so now this is the function here. So now let's check in the console. I'm just going to click here, then hello in the console is showing. Okay, so how I can use this by, so there is a more events as well, like mouse down, mouse leave, mouse move, mouse over. Okay, so these are the mouse events. Okay, when my mouse will be moved, like my mouse is over, then you can see hello is showing in the console and updating every time. So like count is 15. So these are the mouse event in that. So how I can use this mouse event by the like we have a heading id, we have passed here id. So add event listener, by the add event listener. Okay, so I will use here mouse over. Okay, and then in my anonymous function I will not pass here any anonymous function. I will pass this hello here. Okay, let's check now. Refreshed, then now same result is here. So we can do this by the way in the both ways. Okay, this is. So there are the more events like DBL, double click. Okay, double click, DBL, double click. You just practice this event, like I'm just going to like double click. So this is happening on the double click. You can see it there. Okay. So in this way we can use the event as well. Okay. So there is a event like the key press, key up, key down. This is also the event for the key. Okay, like I'm just using here window, add event listener, key down, and I'm using hello. Okay, so now you can see here. Now I'm key down, you can see the hello. Okay, on the window I'm doing key down. Okay, key down, key up, these are the keys when we will press any key. So that we have covered like click, double click, mouse, how mouse event works and how key events work. These are looking very simple, so you need to practice. There are a lot of events. Okay, so now we are moving to the scroll. Okay, so how window scrolls, I will, there is a scroll event as well. Scroll. Okay, I'm just going to create an anonymous function here. Okay, console.log scroll. SCR. There is some spelling mistake. SCR. Scroll. Okay. Let's see. You can see that this is working on the scroll. Okay. This is working on the scroll when I'm scrolling. Okay. So this is the scroll. But I want to do something when I have scroll 125px from the one 125px from the top, 200px from the top. So I want to do something like this. So how I can do this? In that I will, in the scroll I have if window window dot page y means we will finding the we are getting the height of scrolling of horizontal height of scrolling. So I'm just going page y, there is a page y offset. Okay, if page y offset is 150, okay, and there is a else less than 150, so in that we will change the color of our document body. Okay, document dot body dot style dot background. Okay, the background, blue background will be after scrolling the 150, then background will be blue, otherwise background will be white. Okay, let's see this. Now you can see this blue, now white, blue, white. Okay, so it's working. In this way we can do the scrolling. Okay, so in development we use a we have a scroll to top, we just have a image here at the bottom, and when they will scroll, this will move with the our scroller. Because okay, if so this type of functionality we do in the development. So like okay, so let's check for some input events. So I'm just going to create an input, and this type of event we use for input in the projects. Type text and some id, first input value blank. Okay, so I'm just using this. So I'm just going to remove this. So this is the first input. Okay, so in there there is a, I will use two event here, focus and blur event. Okay, when I will just focus in the input, I will change the color of the input fields, and when I will blur means I will just focus outside this input, then I will change that color to as it was before. Okay, let's check that. Then I'm just going here, I'm just removing this with anonymous function. Okay, and here I am using with focus. Okay, so with input dot style dot background, and background color I am just setting here yellow. Okay, this is the focus event, and I'm just creating one more event for this blur event. So I'm just changing this yellow to white. So we have a input here. When I will focus in this, now background of this input is changed to yellow. When I will click outside means then blur event will work, like then yellow is removed and the white. So focus, when we will click inside this input, then focus event will occur, and when we will click outside, then the blur event will occur. So these are the two events, and there are a I'm just change event as well. Okay, change event. Change if I'm changing the value, if I'm changing the value of this dot this input, then like I'm just changing the value of this input and I will click outside this input, okay, like blur, then I will get the value of this input inside this event, change event. Okay, like I'm just going here, I'm just refreshing, I'm just clicking, I'm just typing something, so nothing in the console. When I will click outside, then blur event is calling, and these are the second event is calling change event, so I'm getting the value inside it. Okay, like you can see here. Okay, two event is now there is a one more event, input. Input is an element as well and is an event as well. Okay, input is an element as well and as an event as well. So what input do here? Input is used like when I will key down, means when I will press any key, then this will occur, this event will occur, like a b c, like this, you can see that. Okay, and after that when I will click outside, the change event will work. Okay, so like this you can see the input event. Okay, so these are the events for the input, okay, which I have covered. So now we will see what is prevent default. Okay, prevent default. Prevent default. So these are the events generally used for in the development. So you just do the practice. We mostly use this focus, blur event. Okay, this change event. So we use this in the development. So you just do the practice. Okay, prevent default. We also use in the our projects. So what is the prevent default? Prevent default is used to stop the default behavior. Like we have we have a link here, link. When I will click on that link, then I will move to other site. Okay, other URL I will move. So the link behavior is moving from one URL to another URL. So prevent default will stop that type of behavior. Means default is behavior of something, it will stop. Okay, like we have a form, and I will click on the submit, then my form will be submit. Okay, and my like page will be refreshed, and I will move to the some other URL, I will submit on that. But when I am using on the prevent default, then my page will not be submit. Okay, so that's why we use this, and this also used in the development as well. Like I'm just creating a link here. Okay, click here and href, and I will put here some website name. So I'm just going here and Google. So I'm just going to copy the URL of Google from here, and I'm just going to paste. Okay, and I'm just having some ID link. Okay, link ID. So now document dot get element by ID, and ID, our ID is link A, and where link A. Okay, so I will, when I will click on add event listener, when I will click on this link, okay, function, the anonymous function I'm using here, when I will click here, okay, so I'm just doing some console here, console.log, like clicked. When I will click on this link, then I will move to the google.com. Okay, let's check this first and how we can stop by the prevent default this. Okay, so I'm just, yes, yes, you can ask. Swap date. Okay, he has left the meeting. No issue. So let's continue. So I'm just going to refresh here. When I will click here and I have clicked here, so I have moved to the google.com. Okay, and now I'm back on my site, and when I click on it there, so I'm moving from my site to google.com. Okay, so I will stop this default behavior of link by the prevent default. So here I will use event event dot prevent default. Okay, prevent default. I will click here. So now I have in the console, but I'm not moving to the google.com. Okay. So in this way, we this prevent default stop the default behavior. Okay. So now I will create one form. Like I'm just going to create one form here. Form. Okay. And some action on that blank. Okay. ID. First form. So I will have this input inside this. Okay. And I will create one button like this and submit. So I will not create in button, I will create button by input type submit. Okay, so because I am just using the add event, okay, I am just changing this link to first form. Now this when submit. Okay, when I will submit my form, then this will happen. Okay, this will happen. So let's check the behavior without prevent default. Okay, so let's refresh the page. I'm just going to refresh, and there is a form and there is inside an input. So I'm just going to click here. Then you can see my this window. Okay, this tab is refreshing. Okay, so this is refreshing means I am submitting my form. Okay, means okay. So how I can stop the default behavior. So we can stop by the prevent default like this. We will use event.prevent default. Like I'm just going to click here. So now this is working. Okay. So this is the use of prevent default. Okay. So we will use this prevent default when we use like we don't want to submit this form into directly to some URL. We want to get the information of the form and we want to pass this information to some to some HTTP server request means some uh, Ajax call. Okay, some Ajax call I want to do. I don't want to directly submit this form to some certain URL. Okay, that's why we use this. Okay, so this is all about prevent default. So now we will discuss. We have discussed till now DOM. So there is a one more concept like BOM. Browser object model. So what is browser object model? Browser object model is used to interact with the browser. Okay, DOM we use to interact with the DOM element. Okay, DOM, the document object model we use to interact with the DOM element. But here is a one more concept, browser object model, BOM. So BOM is used to interact with the browser. So how we will interact? The window object represent window in a browser. There is a object window. Okay, that object window represent a browser. Okay, an object of window is created automatically by the browser. We don't create that object. Window create that object automatically. Okay, we use that. Okay, but we don't create that. Window create for us. So all global JavaScript object functions variable with the where keyword automatically become member of the window object. You means like we have a var x is equal to 10. So this variable will automatically will be a property of window object. How? Now I am just going to console dot log x. Okay, let's check this. So in console I am getting 10. Okay, if I will use this window dot x. Okay, so what I will get? I will get 10. Okay, so this x will be the part of the window now. Okay, if we are not using, but if we are not using window.x, the browser is treating this treating as a window.x. Okay, it's a property of window object. Okay, so global variable are property of the window object. This is the global variable, not the local variable. So global variable will be the property of window object, and the global function are the method of window object. Global function, we have a function here hello, this is also a global. So we can call this like hello. Directly we can call this like, okay, like hello, and we can call this window dot hello. Okay, let's check. So hello both same output. Okay, so variable functions, those are global, will be a part of property and method of window object. And window object, we don't create window object, the browser creates window object. Okay, so window is a default object of browser. It's a default object of browser. Okay, so if we are not using like x y z, okay, like we have used x and hello, okay, then window will add window.x. Means internally window will change this hello to window.hello and x to window.x. This will be converted by internally by the window. Okay, so we have some, these are the properties and functions we have assigned to the object of window. So we have some built-in properties and built-in functions in the window as well. So like I'm just going to console.log window. I'm just doing this. Okay, let's refresh. So you can check this window. We have alert. Which one alert function we use? This is the window method. Okay, inbuilt blur method, ATOB method, okay, BTO method. There are the many methods in that many variable you will get here. Okay, like you can check. Document also window.document. Okay, focus as well, find as well. There are a lot of functions, lot of built-in like length we have. Okay, you can see on key down, on key press, all are the properties and methods of the windows. Okay, you can see submit, you can see this lot of screen X, screen Y, screen top. Okay, this type. So we have a like I have this window, so I want to the height and width of this window. Inner height means this white part. With white part I will change the, I'm just going to change the color of that. Like I have used here height, and I will set here background color yellow. Okay, now I want to find out the height and width of this yellow part. So how I can get that? So console.log window.inner width and window.inner height. Okay, so this will be the inner height and width of the yellow part of that inner height of window. So like this, like 1280 and 320. This is okay. And I want to get the complete height and width, which will be the same. Which will be the same per complete. In that we have a URL, we have the tabs as well. So how I can find this? These are the outer. Okay, window dot outer width. First I will use width because I have used width, and outer window dot. We can use window, and without window we can access because these are the global. So window height with use window height. Let's check now. So now you can see this, and there is a difference in the height 680 320. Okay, okay. So now we have checked the inner height width and outer height width of the window. So I'm just going to remove this. So we will open on click, we will open a new window and we will open some URL in that window. So how we can open this? Like I'm just going to create. I'm just going to create one more link. So I have created already a link here for Google. So I'm just changing this to click to Google, and ID I'm changing to Google. Okay, one more link I'm just creating here. So this is the link, but I need to open in the window. So I'm just changing this. I'm just creating a button here. Button. Okay. So in that Google, and I will have the ID here Google. Okay. And one more button I'm just going to click here. Yahoo. Yahoo. When I will click on the Google button, then I will open a window with the Google URL. Okay. So I'm just going in this CSS and I'm just document. Okay, I'm just changing here Google. Okay, and Google. Google dot add event listener. When I will click on this Google button, click event, then function. Okay, then I will open a window. Here is a window, open. Okay, let's check this first. Okay, I'm just going here. I have refreshed here. I have a Google here. I'm just going to click on this. So I'm creating a tab, new tab by window.open. So this is creating if I'm not okay. So I'm just adding here a URL Okay, and I'm passing a URL here. Okay, let's check now what will happen. I'm just going to click here. So this is opening in a new tab, but I want to open some new window. Okay, in that window I want to open this. So there is a two parameter also. One is a name like Google, and other is a window height and width, which I need to open now. So I will use here height, HEIGHT, height equal to 500. Okay, then width 500. Okay, so first is the URL, second will be the name of that URL, name of that new window, and that the property height and width. And now let's check here. I'm just going to refresh. I'm clicking here. So now new window is opened here. Okay, you can check that. Okay, so in same way for Yahoo, I have a ID here, Yahoo. Okay, I can open a window in the same way. Okay, for Yahoo, I'm just going to create. I will call this by Yahoo. Okay, and the URL I'm just Yahoo URL. Going to Yahoo. I'm just going here. Yahoo India. Okay, so I'm just going here. This is the search. Any other URL of Yahoo? YouTube. Okay, no issue. I'm just using this in dot. Okay, going to copy paste, and I will change this Google URL here. Okay, like this. Let's check now. So we will get. Now I am clicking on Google. So I have a window like Google. Okay, and I'm just going to click on Yahoo. Then my Yahoo is opening in this window, Google. Okay, so why this is opening? Because I have a name here, Google. Okay, if I want to create new window for Yahoo and one new window for Google, so I need to change this name. One for Google and one for Yahoo. Okay, you can see here we have like one for Yahoo window, one for Google. Okay, so in this way, if we want to open in a same window, okay, Yahoo and Google, we want to open in the same window, so we will have this name like anything. We can have like XYZ. Okay, XYZ. So we will have the name of this window dot open. We will have the same name. Okay, I'm just going to open this Google, and then I will click on Yahoo. Then this will be updated in that. Okay, okay, in that you can see that. Okay, so if we have specified the height and width in that. Okay, so we can remove in this. Okay, as well, because we have already specified this. Okay, if we want to close, how we can close this window? How we can close this window? By clicking on some button. So I'm just going to create one more button here. Close. So I will create close. Okay, so close. So we will just create a variable here like win. Okay, and we will assign this open in this win variable. Okay, like win, like this. Okay, now we will close. So first we need to assign in a variable when we are opening any window, then we will assign in a variable, then that variable we will call in close method in this way. Okay, let's check this. I'm just going to click close this, and I'm just going to refresh. Now I'm just clicking on the Google. Okay, so I will click on close, then this should be closed, then this is closed. You can see here only one window. Okay, so I'm just going to click again, and I will click on Yahoo now. Now I will click close here, so this is closed. Okay, but when I click on the Yahoo, I have clicked on the Yahoo, and I'm going to close this. I have clicked here, but Yahoo is not closing. Why Yahoo is not closing? Because I have assigned this window dot open of this Google. Okay, when I am opening the Google, but I have not assigned this in this variable. Okay, so if I use like this, okay, now I'm just going to open this Yahoo, and I will click on the close button, then this will be removed. This is removed. When I will click here on the Google, and I will close here, I will click on the close, then this will be closed. So now this is working perfectly fine. So how we can open a window, new tab, and how we can switch one URL into a same window, how we can use separate two windows, we have discussed this. So this is also used in the development and very important this is. So now we will discuss the timeout and time interval. This is very important for the uh, we use this in the development as well. Some when we create some like we need to work like after we want to execute some kind of code we want to execute after some time. So we use set timeout, and time interval we generally use something should be iterate in after some time, like again and again, like some after 5 seconds I want to console something, so after five again after again and again after 5 seconds this will be console print. So let's see. And like we create in watch timer, we create a timer in our development like in a test series, then we will use the time interval. Okay, so let's check that. I'm just going here, I'm just going to remove this. Okay, so I have a timeout set timeout. These are the part of window as well. There is an anonymous function. Okay, and after 2 seconds I want to console this. Okay. I want to console something after 2 seconds. Okay, function, there is a spelling mistake in function, that's why error. So this code will the code inside the set timeout anonymous function, this will execute once after 2 seconds. Okay, so let's check this. I'm just going to execute this in the console.log. I have just used console.log. I'm just going to alert here. Okay, alert. This is not working. Why this is not working? Set timeout. Okay, we have here 2 seconds. Okay, after 2 seconds, we need to wait for 2 seconds. So we need to refresh this. This is after this is working. This is working fine for 2 seconds. So now I'm just going to change this alert to console dot log. Okay. So now refreshed. Now we will get after 2 seconds. Okay. So there was my mistake. I can change this arrow function to anonymous function as well. So let's refresh. So we will get this after 2 seconds. Okay, we can increase the time. I was refreshing again. That's why this is happening. 5 seconds. So this will execute after 5 seconds. Now we have in the console after 5 seconds. Okay. So what does this is the set timeout and the set in timeout set interval. Okay. What is the set interval? We have the same syntax of same time in set interval after 2 seconds. Okay. After 2 seconds, this will this will execute after every 2 seconds. Okay. Now I'm just going to refresh. So after 2 seconds, set interval after 5 seconds, this is coming here. This is after 5 seconds. So I'm just changing this to after 5 seconds. Let's see again. After 2 seconds, after 5 seconds, after 2 seconds. So you can see the difference here. The set timeout is occurred once, like after 5 seconds, and after 2 seconds is occurred at every time after 2 seconds. Okay, this is the difference. So how we can stop this? Okay, these are executing to infinite time, so we can stop this as well. Okay, so we can like I'm just going to on this function on this close. I will close this timer on this event add close dot add event. This is not add event listener. Add event listener. When I will click here, then function anonymous function I am using here. Okay, we have a close. Let me check button close we have here. Okay, let me check first this is working or not. Console.log close. I have refreshed here. Now I am just going to click here. So close is working fine. Okay. So set interval we will close this set interval when we will click on this close button. Okay. So I'm just going here and I will assign where inter inter variable where inter variable. Okay. And then I will use that inter variable here in the clear interval. I will pass here clear interval. Let's check now. Okay, now after 2 seconds is working. Okay, so when I will click on this close button, then this should be stop and this should not in the console should not print again and again. So I have clicked here, close is occurred, and now you can see this is not executing again and again. Okay, after 2 and 8 times this is not executing and close after this. Okay, in this way we can stop the interval as well. Okay, So we have another type of global variable here, like location, that is also very useful for the development purpose. Location object used to get the information of the window URL and to redirect. Okay, so I'm just going to remove all this and console.log. I'm just using here location. Okay, in this way, and we can use this as well, log dot window dot location. Let's check. So now you can see same output we are getting here. Okay, so in the location object we have the host here, and we have host name, href, origin, path name. Okay, all the file name we have also here, the URL name we have also here. Okay, so this is the information of the browser we are getting here. All the browser you can see here, the replace function here, overload function here. Okay, so when we will want to reload this, means refresh this, so we can do this. Okay, I'm just going to click on like close dot add event listener, add event listener, click function. Okay, okay, and then I will reload. I will execute this function like this. Okay, when I will click on close button, then my window will be refresh and reload. So I'm just going to, you can see this, my window is reloading or refreshing. Okay, so these are the functions in this. Okay, so how I can redirect by this? Okay, I can redirect this as well when I will click here. So location dot href, I can pass any href here. Okay, like we have passed here Google. I'm just going to Google URL. I will pass here like this. Okay, so let's, when I will click here, I'm just redirecting to Google. Okay, and back, I'm just going to click on back, so I'm coming in my website. Okay, in this way we can redirect as well. Okay, so what are the another, and we have a function here. Let's check some function here as well. Assign function here. So what this assign function does here, so like if I am passing location dot assign, and I'm just passing this URL in this function, so this will work same as location dot href. This will work same as location dot href. So as we are hitting location dot href, that internally will call this assign method. Okay, let's see this first. I'm just going to click here. So I'm redirecting to Google. I'm just going to back. So same functionality is working for the location.href and location.assign. Okay, because location, when we are assigning a URL to location.href, then window automatically call assign method. Okay, so there is a one more, there is a lot of features of the protocol as well, replace as well, reload it. What is the replay does here? So let's check the replace. Very important, this is replace. I have changed this to replace, and now I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to refresh. So I'm just going to click here, then this will redirect to Google. You can see this, and refresh. What we have used, replace. Okay, so replace will replace, replace is used to window dot replace. We need to check this first. So there is no difference between, I'm just going, Okay, so this is here. So at the like URL we have, so window in the replace function also used for redirection, but there is a difference into assign and replace. Like assign, when assign in the in the window, when we use assign, then this will redirect to the new URL, and this will not replace the previous URL. And replace the previous. In the window we have a location of the previous, like current we have on this like index.html, then this will replace in the window that the same URL. Okay, so this is the difference, and this is not working here. And when we will use there, like we have a test series, when we are going to submit our test series, and we, as I am going to submit my test, uh, I go to the report section. After going the report section, when I click on this back button of window, then I will go to the again on my test series. Okay, but I have submitted that test series, so I should not go to that test series. Okay, so I will use here there replace. When I will use location dot replace, and I will redirect from that test to the report. When I will click the back button, then I will not go to the that test. Okay, why coming here? I'm just showing you. I have got the idea how I can do this. Okay, so I'm just redirect assign. I'm just changing this to assign here. Okay, assign. Okay, uh, and on like here, how I need three URL for this. When I can do this. Okay, like I have a Yahoo. Okay, so like this, like I have a like main page. When I'm click on that main page close button, then I'm moving to the some other URL, other URL here. Okay, like this is the test URL I'm going. Okay, after submitting this test URL, I'm just moving to the report URL. Okay, from there, like I have a listing, current page is listing, my listing is here, and I am just clicking on that list test, take test, then I am moving to the test page. And when I'm clicking on the test page, so I moved in the test page, and then I am submitting my test, then I will move to the report. Okay, so when I'm using the assign on href, then I click on the back icon of this, then I will move to the test, but I have submitted, that is wrong. So I will use here window.replace. Okay, when I will use here window.replace. Okay, so then after when I will submit my test, so this URL test will be replaced by the report, will be report. And then from the report, when I will click on this back button, I will not go on the test page, I will go on the listing page. Okay, so I think this is clear to you. So this is all about location object. We have this is mostly used, and we have really used some object as well, like the navigation object and screen object. Okay, so navigation by, okay, we have a object here, console.log window.navigator, navigator object. Okay, let's check this. So this is also have some window or navigator have some properties here, that app name, app code name, Mozilla, information about the app version, Windows which we are using. Okay, so what are the browser we are using? Navigator will give the like information about that. Okay, like platform 32 win. Okay, so you can check that. So lots of we have here platform permissions, media. Okay. So this navigator, when we will use, like in our test screen, we have in the development, I have used that navigator. Like we want to check that our webcam is opened or not. So in this way, we use our screenshot. We want to take some screenshot of our test. Okay, frequently I want to track the user what they are doing and switching the tab. In that way, we will track. We will use the navigator object we use. Okay, which because it's have the like in the browser in the Mozilla browser all the information itself. Okay, so in this way we use. So we have one more object here, screen, window dot screen. So let's check this. So this will give the screen, all the screen height, width, and all these things. Okay. So this is the really, these two are the object are the really used in that. Okay. We use really. So screen information we get from this screen object. So there are the window. You can check more in the window object. There are a lot of things in that, predefined things, and very important to use this window we use that. Okay, so like this alert we use mostly things we use in the development, like one pointer on the event, all the events, CSS, timeouts, and all these things in here. So this is all about the JavaScript basics. I have covered all the basics, and I have like 6 to 7 videos in this JavaScript playlist, and these are the. So I have covered all the JavaScript basics. You just check my playlist on my YouTube channel. From tomorrow at 11 a.m., we will start a fresh series of ES6. So I have finished all the JavaScript basics today, and from tomorrow 11 a.m., I will cover all ES6 topics and advanced JavaScript. If you are going to attend any interview, okay, I'm just firstly going to stop this.